Hi.
Hello. Hello together. So I'm happy that you are there and that I can introduce our today's session from the global wing of circular economy and global network, and under the wing of the G100 Ladies Network. We started the sessions 6 months ago to different topics of sustainability, and today we are looking beyond circular economy, circular cities, and smart cities. And I'm very happy that we have the experts on different fields of different countries, Europe and India, with us, who will talk about this important topic and gives us some ideas about that. By 2050, the forecast predicts, we will have 2.5 billion people on that planet, and 50%, half of that, will live in cities, and they will consume 70% of the global man-made energy. These are immense challenges for us all, but as well big chances maybe if we drive this change carefully, with awareness, mindful, and with experts. And these experts are invited today with Ma Intuini, with Karen Hughes, with Jitendra Sivatara, okay? Karen, you are there, great. With Emanuela Donetti and with Dr. Franca Colozzo. So just a little few words to myself. I'm the global chair of circular economy under the G100 wing. And I started a couple of years ago THEA International. This is an international umbrella organization for different initiatives in the circular economy and sustainability for young people and young adults. And we started recently a new network for youth in the circular economy, the first global community, to get young people inspired by the chances of the new workforces and to give them the chance to solve the future challenges in the way they want to design their life and their careers. So now I give the floor to my eminent guests. I would like to introduce them shortly. Ma Intuini is coming from Spain. She's the global chair of the G100. I come back to you later. Dr. Franca Colozzo, coming to Italy, and she is the World Goodwill Ambassador. Emanuela Donetti, Italy, and Karen Hughes, one of our G100 global chairs for global education. I think we are very well presented to discuss this important topic today, to have beautiful insights. And we start with Franca Colozzo. Dr. Franca Colozzo, she's not only the Global Ambassador of Peace, she is a sustainable blogger and passionate about poems and history. Her knowledge about history is amazing, and we could really improve a lot in the last sessions, and she gives us always a wide and broad background to understand the traditions and how things come up much better. And today I think you will take us away again to a new lead in history and show us how cities developed, and this gave us a floor for see how future can develop as well. So, my dear Franca, I hope and I am enjoying that time with you. The floor is yours.
Okay. I am also ambassador of peace of many organizations, always also from the UK. Anyway, I want to introduce you smart cities in a world that is heading towards the fateful stage of 2030, a year considered to be the limit for climate change due to the rise in atmospheric temperature according to the Paris and subsequently Madrid agreements meetings. Recently, we assisted to COP26 in Glasgow, an apparent compromise on fossil fuels, in which China and India emerge, the most vulnerable countries lose and risk disappearing. There is also talk of the long-term economy and especially smart cities. This is the topic I will have to deal with, especially in relation to my Italian experience. But what exactly are the projects related to smart cities in Italy, and what prospects for expanding this experience throughout the national territory and also in the globalized world? The hyperbolic growth of the world population, with the growing demand for food, resources, products of industrialization, consumerism, prevailing above all in Western countries, America in the lead, has led scholars, researchers, architects, politicians to seek immediate alternatives, also due to the depletion of our planet's resources. In short, it is a question of moving from a linear economic model to a sustainable or circular model in which the recycling phase acquires a substantial value. I am speaking specifically of the Italian model, in my opinion, considered more complex than other realities, as it has to deal with the ancient constructions, Roman, medieval, Renaissance, 16th Baroque century, 17th century, 19th century, and early 20th century. That is, the existing historical centers that represent the artistic, cultural heritage of which Italy is proud and which constitutes about 80% of all the world's artistic, archaeological, and architectural heritage. Talking about sustainability means addressing the following issues: management of green spaces, recycling, and energy, digital transformation also of the public administration, cybersecurity, sustainable mobility, education, sustainable tourism from a cultural perspective, overcoming of architectural barriers. Entering into the merits of Italian cities, it's clear that Milan ranks first, closely followed by Florence and Bologna. Bike sharing, car sharing, and the recent introduction of electric scooter sharing, including the so-called vertical forest or skyscrapers with the trees by some Italian architects, for example, Boeri in Italy. With the introduction of cycle paths, columns for electric cars on the rise, the acquisition of electric buses for the transport of citizens, many of whom are elderly, considering that the Italian population is the longest lived in Europe, with the energy transformation of buildings for energy self-sufficiency, the diffusion of digital services such as the innovative 5 giga fixed wireless access of the Milanese administration as part of an ambitious European project. A transformation that is certainly not easy for historic cities in which directional services are generally concentrated in the city center. Other urban development strategies are, in summary, relating to three substantial points: connection, innovation, and mobility. But at the center of the foregoing, there is always a problem of energy efficiency, such as European Google, and the EU founded a pilot project for the intelligent refitting of entire buildings with the aim of reducing energy needs and integrating renewables. In simple terms, the so-called coat, that is a double coating that insulates the building from the cold in winter and protects it from the heat in summer. At the heart of energy efficiency, there are then series of measures and precautions aimed at avoiding dispersions, favoring digitalization through Wi-Fi, 5 giga, and broadband, the digitization of the administration to give citizens the opportunity to have certificates without unnecessary movements, just with a click. Furthermore, the pandemic crisis has forced not only students of all kinds and levels of education, but also ordinary citizens to work remotely using video conferencing software such as Zoom and Google Meet. In fact, if today we can discuss in video conference among ourselves, as we did in the past to talk about sustainability and education, we owe it to the new frontiers of video conferencing that have personally allowed me to follow high profile, like UN and so on, webinars, and to become part of, in quality of architect, of projects aimed at sustainability. One of these is about UN. I was invited to do something about this. And another one is about the Union of International Architects, of which I am a member, and I will have a meeting next Tuesday, exactly, the 21st December. Anyway, never ever in the recent past would I have thought of broadening my knowledge and the potential as a currently certified blogger on sustainability, long-term economy, and as soon as on climate change, up to these unexpected frontiers and goals. In fact, I have some certification because I have attended some e-learning courses, and tomorrow I have another one on climate change. So I will have at the end free certification about long-term economy and so on, sustainability and climate change. We are all grateful to new technologies as long as they do not become systems of control of the masses and the potential dangers, especially in the educational field, for young children to focus on tablets and smartphones, less on authentic cultural contents that all this is acquired through serious learning and also through the potentiality that the network offers, but fewer social networks. Unfortunately, young people are too people, young people thinks only a few social networks, less to learn. This is the problem. For this quick overview of the model cities in Italy, it's clear that there is still a long way to go. The speed with which technology advances is not equal to that of adapting to indispensable models of sustainability, recycling, health, through a renewed relationship with the environment around us. We should therefore find the right balance between modernization and the relationship with our psyche that finds a source of well-being in nature, sociality, education, development, and health, are the basis of cutting-edge Italian cities, such as Bologna, but they represent a minority on the global scene, Italian global scene. So what to do to protect yourself from the climate emergency? I am finished. Beyond the pharaonic projects, vertical skyscrapers, which is, in my opinion, is a palliative of fashion, beyond the still poorly advanced and widespread electric cars, we should, in the meantime, try to save what can be saved, waiting for more advanced technology of urban transport and extra-urban allows us to look to the near future with greater optimism. The recycling of electric batteries and their high cost push us to think of hydrogen or solar as a privileged means of transport, but we are still too far behind the 2020 emergency, as well as the movement of business centers outside the cities and not in the heart of them. While waiting for rapid progress, and these are basically political choices that instead of looking at an immediate gain, look to a future development perspective. We should simply avoid any waste as citizens of our small isolated planet in the universe. Recycling should be the word of the day's order. Then, finishing, it's up to the administration, the governments, to take an interest in green areas, waste disposal, special ecological islands, use many more electric buses for the elderly, students, workers, and so on. If we really want smart cities, we must also press electorally on the political class so that this dream can become true. After all, each of us is a drop that, combined with the others, is capable of forming a tsunami, the tsunami of change in view of the ambitious goal of 2030. Bye, finish.
Thank
A
you
small,
very much.
thank you.
Yeah, I think that was again a wide overview, and you took us away in different areas. And yeah, I think especially your end is very important. We all can contribute something, and we have to contribute and to start with ourselves. But I hope we are not running out of time with all the decisions to take. So thank you very much, dear Franca. I don't hesitate, and normally we discuss, but I think we discuss later on, so that I would like to come to our new guest on the floor. I'm very happy to welcome you, dear Emanuela Donetti, as well from Italy. And this is what's really interesting now, because we had Franca and now we have you, and you are an innovation advisor. And as far as I could see, and because we did not meet before, we had not the chance, you're an experienced leader in organizational development in disruptive changes. And in all my leadership career, I know we are exactly in that stage right now. And I hope so much, especially from smart cities, but even more with your experiences, how to change things, how to get people on the page, how to convince organizations to do the steps what are necessary and urgently need. You can give us some important insights. So the floor is yours.
I am sorry, after this presentation and introduction, I am going to leave. Thank you so much.
No, we will keep you on the floor.
It's a very complicated question. Yeah, very complicated, both because of cultures, both because of traditions, both because of levels of the feeling of the problem. And we saw in COP26 that Franca spoke before. In COP26, we saw so many differences in the same topic and in the facing of the same topic. If you want, I can share some image and some contents and data. So perhaps it's nice to see something together. Let me do the stuff. Yes, please share. Please do it. Thank you so much. Are you looking at my screen?
No, we just see you.
Wow.
But no, perfect. Perfectly done. Perfect.
It is?
Wow.
Perfect. So,
yes.
Who's clever in town? My question every time as I work with public administration is who's clever? What does it mean smart? And what are the smart city challenges that both you and Franca spoke before? Both globalization. Globalization has been a great asset for a lot of time, but then made our economies more vulnerable to climate change because we spend a lot of petrol and fossil resources for that. Electric cars are coming. Are cities ready for them? Do you know if electric cars or an autonomous car can relate to public agents that make their scene, please come, please stop? And the mega cities are growing faster than we were prepared for. They are 29 and 30 this year, and they will grow more in the next. What does it mean when the urbanization grows like that? We lose agricultural land. We increase greenhouse gas emissions. We have higher commuting time and so higher costs for commuting in our world. And we have a lot more social special segregation and segmentation. This is a very interesting topic in the sustainability of the smart city. The new urban agenda tells us that the 5 guiding principles for the next years will be human rights, economy, democracy, education, and above all, the environment. I'm sorry, I just finished with my lessons in French, so sometime I will speak in both Italian, French, and English, but you're going to excuse me for that, please. And we had the Paris Climate Agreement. It was 2015. We were convinced that everything will grow better since now. And what were the topics in the Paris Agreement for everybody? 197 countries were present in signing that agreement. Limiting the average global temperature increase to less than 2%, 2 degrees centigrade, and achieve net zero emission by mid-century, meaning in 30 years from now. Enhance resilience and adaptation to climate impact, meaning we don't want water to grow too much. And align financial flows in the world to arrive to these objectives. These 3 topics are discussed along the years until today, and even in the COP26, we are not really certain that these 3 main global goals are met in the same way in the countries. We have also another fixed global goals that are the Sustainable Development Goals from United Nations. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce the inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnership for goals. Do you see smart city here? You don't see it. Let me tell you, you don't see smart city here. It's not a goal for sustainable development. Why? Because everything in the smart city topic has one small chance to change every one of these 17 goals. ask you how many times your life has changed in the past 10 years. Okay, COVID-19, I understand and I agree with you. But in the 10 years, some one of us get married, some one of us had some children, who had a son, had a daughter, or granddaughters, or something like that. But how many times technology changed in your pockets? In these 10 years, just look at the changes in the softwares. This kind of changement happened in your pocket, even if you were asleep. We have a constant change in our life that we don't even know about. I like to start every time from an artist that was active in Italy at the very start of last century. It was Umberto Boccioni. And this was his technological interpretation of the city that was changing. In this image, you see his mother, an ancient woman, Italian woman, and at the balcony, looking at a city that is growing. She's looking at a building that is going up. And this is a small show from that painter, where you can see the ancient way to move stuff, horses, and power of people. This is another picture that shows us the city that grows in the entrepreneurial way. This is Officina Porta Romana, means an ancient quartier that was growing with companies. Why do I say this is a technological way? Because Boccioni was able to interpret the use of the light and of the colors with the spectrography. So what do you see is not a normal picture or a normal painter. It's just something that comes from science. And this is interpretation of the lights. And the city is all in a picture. You can see the mother, you can see the balcony, and you can see the city that grows beside the mother. Why do I start from there? Besides starting from art is always a good start. Because the smart city is a question of interpretation of single data. Everyone in the city moves or do something, and when you do or you move, you leave a trace in the databases of the city. This kind of data makes the city works in some different ways. Philosophically, we have Bauman and Rifkin that stays at the basis of this question. The liquid society thought by Bauman was made of connections, network, freedom to be in a place or choosing not to be in a place. The liquid society means we have the same connections, the same relationships as we have in the social networks, like, dislike. Our connections are not so strong like they were in other times in our countries. We are used to have communities very, very different from the communities that our parents or our grandparents were used to. We have a connection with people very, very far from our house, and we don't even talk to our neighbors. So it's very strange for a public administration that have to administrate a place, a town, a village, a country, when the people in that village, in the country, in that city, isn't really there for a long time. Things change in a changing world. what happens in our pocket happens also beside us. Consciousness about climate change and pollution has changed a lot, as Mar would surely say. In this year, the consciousness about that has changed a lot. The economical crisis after 2008, and now after COVID, we are going to face another kind of economical crisis, are always facing our places. As public choices, we had a very, very strong idea in the last 2 years of how these choices impact our social life. Innovation and sustainability works even if we don't think to that. So it's time to change. What are the drivers that are going to change our towns and our life in town? Remote working. I'm just speaking something that I am sure you knew very well in the last years. And nomadic working. Why stay in a big city when I can stay and work in my little village with a beautiful panorama and have a nice quality of life? So we need co-working spaces, virtual offices, like Franca told before, Zoom, Meet, Teams, all the technological stuff that we need to do that. Public health issues, mobility on demand, e-commerce and logistics on demand. Once logistics was just a topic for commercials, for enterprises. Now every one of us, in every our small condo or building, we can receive a truck. We don't even care if it's big or little, if he's coming with a bike or he's coming with a big truck. And that is something that our public administration have to manage. So they make congestion or pollution charges or dynamic charges. The cities will be approachable with a charge that will change at 8 o'clock in the morning or at 11 in the evening. We need the network, we need the infrastructure, so Wi-Fi, IoT, and 5G, and then 6G. That platform will be used for all the tools that are smart or geo-based. So we will have smart meters, smart tools that will make our smart city. How we as citizens can impact this idea of smart town. So we can impact as an example, how we work. Let me know if you didn't experience these images that are in this presentation. People working from home, people working with their kids in the same room, people needing to sanitize everything, social distancing, and tools that helps to keep the social distance, like these screens, transparent screen. And we lived the resilience of the companies that had to change, switch in just 2 months, completely their business model and their organizational mode. Just looking at this only thing that was absolutely sure. The only certainty is uncertainty. In the last 2 years, we grow a big consciousness about that. Do our enterprises are prepared to face uncertainty? And how do they do that? How do they do? Okay. What they did, let employees work remote some of the time. This will impact the city. Why I make you see that? Because this will impact our cities. Let employees work remote all the time, almost 50%. Flex days, 43%. Flex hours, 42%. Shortened work weeks, 15%. Look at how many people is not going on the roads in the next years. Look at how many people is not going to buy a sandwich in the coffee shop under the offices in the next years. The role of our cities, the role of the business model for our cities in the next years will change in an incredible way. We experienced somehow this kind of changes in the last years. We see some experience like BRT, the big that had a big impact, not just a metropolitan, but a bus that is going to work as a metropolitan, as an underground, but it's just a small amount of money in the public investment in front of a normal underground. Leave people have their experience with the car, but not with as an owner, not just as an owner of a car, but a shared car, circular economy. How we think of inclusivity. Does our cities involve people in all the day way that are needed? Do we think to people who are elderly or who are handicapped? Do we think that everyone needs to live in the society? Do we think to share information and culture and knowledge between expertise? So why don't share experience between art and craft, between art and physical problems? What will be the way we will live? Do we want to live in a big city with big buildings, or we want to live with a topic of quality of life? Is it the shape of the building, the topic, or my personal quality of life? This will be the big question that public administration will need to face in the next years. Not only that, do we need schools? With all the possibilities that we have on the social platform and with the network. So how we share knowledge today and how we will manage to share there, to share our competencies. Why do you have to go to a university in another country? How do we make a network? How do we network with other people? How do we make a connection? How do we make a community? If my connections are all in the social networks, why do I need a city, a village, a square to live in a social way? If social media just solve all my problems. And the other question is, do social media will solve all my problems? Another time, knowledge. As you can see, smart city is always a question of collaboration and choices made from someone. So the bigger collaboration is the collaboration between enterprises, public administrations, and above all, citizens. And who are citizens? I think it's us. All of us, we have a role in a city. And all of us, we can contribute with a choice. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, dear Emanuela. Yeah, it was a great overview from a different perspective, and yeah, you sensibilized, I think, not only me about the different areas, circular economy and cities are touching. And I think especially that one slide, and when you shown the SDG topics, it is very clear that circular cities, wherever they are situated, in which size ever, they touch really everything. And that's normal because we live in there and they are reflecting our lifestyle and our habits and what we need. So actually they're been meant for that.
I'm sorry.
Yes, of course.
I do so agree with you. Do we start sometime to think to what we want?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is no place to share what we want.
Mm-hmm. That's really true. I have sometimes, especially when I seen the presentation, sometimes I have really the feeling that's all about really to be sure what are symptoms and what is the problem and where we really want to touch and have to tackle. And I think that is very often coming out of the focus because, of course, it's still very consuming and industry driven. And if we want to rethink things, it's important to come back to the source, even with the presentation of Franca. It's important to know where everything is coming from, how history is combining everything, and then to see how innovation is driving us. And is it an innovation for what we need? So I would like to have the little minute for our dear, not really presented guest, Jitendra Srivastava. He is not here today, but he sent us his voice record because it was very important for him and for us as well to hear what he's thinking and what he contributes. And yeah, please. So we are back again. Apropos smart cities. This is a smart village here. Can you please record Jitendra's? He's Jitendra. Just a few words to him, even if he's not here today and somebody missed him before. He's an award-winning human resource leader and consultant, and moreover than that, he is a he for she activist in India and a human rights defender. And as we've heard before in Emanuela's presentation, human rights is one of the big topics of our future, and no question why. So I'm interested in listening what he contributes.
As we all know, the need for smart cities arose due to rapidly growing urban population, fast depleting natural resources, and changes in environment and climate. In India, the purpose of the Smart Cities mission is to drive economic growth and improve the quality of life of people by enabling local area development and harnessing technology, especially technology that leads to smart outcomes. As a simplistic explanation, a smart city is a place where traditional networks and services are made more flexible, efficient, and sustainable with the use of information, digital, and telecommunication technologies to improve the city's operations for the benefit of its inhabitants. Smart cities are greener, safer, faster, and friendlier. The different components of a smart city include smart infrastructure, smart transportation, smart energy, smart healthcare, and smart technology. These components are what make the cities smart and efficient. Information and communication technology are enabling keys for transforming traditional cities into smart cities. Two closely related emerging technology frameworks, the Internet of Things and Big Data, make smart cities efficient and responsive. Nagpur has emerged as the topmost smart city in India. It has beaten other cities chosen before it to get the best implementation of smart city plan. A stock-taking exercise conducted by Urban Development Ministry has revealed that Nagpur, though chosen as a smart city in September 2016, much after 33 smart cities in 2 previous rounds, has achieved the best investment conversion ratio. India's Smart City program hopes to revolutionize city life and improve the quality of life for India's urban population. Smart city would require smart economy, bright people, smart organization, smart communication, smart engineering, smart transit, fresh environment, and bright living. Nevertheless, with mass migration leading to basic problems like water shortages and overcrowding, the rate at which these cities will be developed will be the key. Several initiatives are being led by the Government of India to convert 100 cities into smart cities. Government to actively use PPP route and encourage FDI for effective implementation of smart cities project in India. As we all know, the need for smart cities arose due to rapidly growing urban population, fast depleting natural resources, and changes in environment and climate. In India, the purpose of the Smart Cities mission is to drive economic growth and improve the quality of life of people by enabling local area development and harnessing technology, especially technology that leads to smart outcomes. As a simplistic explanation, a smart city is a place where traditional networks and services are made more flexible, efficient, and sustainable with the use of information, digital, and telecommunication technologies to improve the city's operations for the benefit of its inhabitants. Smart cities are greener, safer, faster, and friendlier. The different components of a smart city include smart infrastructure, smart transportation, smart energy, smart healthcare, and smart technology. These components are what make the cities smart and efficient. Information and communication technology are enabling keys for transforming traditional cities into smart cities. Two closely related emerging technology frameworks, the Internet of Things and Big Data, make smart cities efficient and responsive. Nagpur has emerged as the topmost smart city in India. It has beaten other cities chosen before it to get the best implementation of smart city plan. A stock taking exercise conducted by Urban Development Ministry has revealed that Nagpur, though chosen as a smart city in September 2016, much after 33 smart cities in 2 previous rounds, has achieved the best investment conversion ratio. India's Smart City program hopes to revolutionize city life and improve the quality of life for India's urban population. Smart city would require smart economy, bright people, smart organization, smart communication, smart engineering, smart transit, fresh environment, and bright living. Nevertheless, with mass migration leading to basic problems like water shortages and overcrowding, the rate at which these cities will be developed will be the key. Several initiatives are being led by the Government of India to convert 100 cities into smart cities. Government to actively use PPP route and encourage FDI for effective implementation of smart cities project in India.
Okay, so thank you. If you can hear us, thank you very much for your input. I think there would be some questions really regarding your facts and figures in India that would really interest me. Maybe we have the time to discuss this another time. And I'm very happy that we have Karen Deuce. Tell me, please, your second name, that I really...
It's my last name is Duis.
Duis. Yeah, it's because from Netherlands, Duis. Yeah. So Karen, I'm very, we met before. We met on our meeting in Brussels, but then we said only Karen and Anya and like this, so I had not the chance to pronounce it properly. And I'm very happy that you are here, especially talking after presenting your ideas and insights after Jitendra, because you're a you have a great knowledge about India. You are really an experienced leader in bridging India and Netherlands. And you are not only that, you are highly recommended and highly awarded. You're president of the WICCI Netherlands, that is the Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And all over, you are the global shareholder of global education from us in the G100, what makes me really proud to have you here today. And you are a senior policy advisor. And that makes it as well very interesting, bridging all these different topics from education, your experiences with the different policy areas, your organizational work, and India and Netherlands. I think I don't want to forget one of your main assets as well. You are the founder and the president of EU-India Connection and Planet of Hope Foundation. So it was nearly too much for me to remember all that. But I think we will have a very interesting insight of you with all your bright and amazing experiences. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for this introduction. I become red here because of all those nice words of you. Thank you so much. So I like to talk about smart cities and challenges for the education field. For me, a smart city is a city connecting the physical infrastructure, the social infrastructure, and the business infrastructure to leverage the collective intelligence of a city. And one of the aspects of a smart city is a smart education. Presently, countries in the world have been implementing the concept of smart city to improve the quality of life of the society, including in the field of education. And the educational system is currently heading to the collaboration between information technology and communication. And two aspects playing an important role in the implementation of a smart city, which is the educational system and the educational technology. And these two aspects allowed the governments to create educational programs in accordance with smart city, such as one is the aspect of education system by establishing ICT centers in every school that is connected to an education agency. And the second is the aspect of education technology by creating an education information system like e-learning, online new students enrollment, computer-based examination, application of the smartphone for learning, student monitoring system for parents, and smart library and e-academic record. Technology is a supporting aspect, of course, in smart city, and the implementation of educational technology in the concept of smart city is really essential. The current educational system in smart cities has been integrating information technology and communication. And the presence of e-learning and digital learning, even computer-based national final examinations in the level of secondary schools, requires schools and universities to develop smart education. So it's important to generate smart schools in order to be more advanced. The use of computer or smartphone to support the learning process is part of smart education. And the use of technological devices should not be merely for entertainment and communication, but they are also beneficial for learning processes. Presently, learning application and e-learning is there to allow the collaboration between teachers and students, even with parents. And they can now be downloaded, lots of apps for free. If required, the government can go through education agencies, needs to provide special platforms to support smart education. Moreover, the recruitment of new students in primary and secondary and even university level have been run through online systems, and it's very important because it's to minimize nepotism. From the overall total, better integrated management is required to back up the programs of city government to smart cities. Given the condition, it's important to generate a concept of education to cities which implement smart cities in order to have basic frames of formulating government policy on education encompassing the concept of management information system, infrastructure of information technology, e-learning, and human resources from educational agency to student and other supporting components. You know, furthermore, in the implementation of education and its success, there are 8 educational national standards to be considered. And the first one is the alumni competition. The second is quality. The third is process. The fourth is education and educational personnel. The fifth is infrastructure. 6 is the management. 7th is the educational cost, and 8 is the educational examination. These 8 points have become the standard in designing the concept of education to implement smart city. Education is the backbone for development. Thus, by introducing smart educational programs, smart cities can be educated and trained. The new 8 schools and educational system in smart cities would possess a software-mediated, highly coded and data-driven infrastructure where students would learn through digital media. Under such educational and learning programs, the students would decode real-time solutions. Students would also be able to receive learning beyond the classroom's knowledge and the world and know the world better. Moreover, with advanced technology implemented in schools, it would also be easy to evaluate each student. This will help weaker students without hinder the ones with potential, giving an equal opportunity to every single student. And this will furthermore help in building the students as active citizens. So the changes that will take place in schools in a smart city are a constant flow of real-time knowledge and learning with respect to the world. Students would be able to experiment, analyze, and implement what they learn. Advanced technology to help students to develop themselves. Helping each student and giving them an equal opportunity to perform, which is very, very important. And the last one is to inspire students to become responsible citizens who can contribute towards the development of their society. So educational institutions are one of the most important parts of a society, as they help to create a future for the world. The quality of education and facilities that students get decides the quality of citizens that they turn out to be. It's a moral duty to provide them with the best facilities and implement the latest technologies so that they can achieve their full potential. In conclusion, the concept of smart city for education contains the 8 standards of national education by gaining benefit from technology, particular information, technology and communication, by establishing smart education system connected to government as a policymaker, school as executor, student, parents and society as the object of the education. Thank you.
And I think a very profound and very deep idea of the connection of education, of smart education and smart cities from a completely different perspective as far as I see that. And I think a lot of cities and a lot of policymakers are not there. So I think it would be quite interesting to know how far and what you're saying, that is one part of the reality, and how far are we in that?
Yes.
And
yes.
I don't know, I speak now for Germany. I know all the struggle coming out in Corona times, and then we know what you're telling about smart cities. That's again on the top, and they are not even. I think that is really a long way to go. But as you said, it's the backbone, and
Yes.
here I'm happy you are our global chair. And you will work on that this backbone is really becoming a backbone for all the
Yes.
kids. They need it
Yes.
in all countries.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So I'm coming now to Ma Intruini, and we are really, I know it is very, what you will say will really summarize and will gives us the last important touch and background to all the different features we had already. Ma Intruini, you're coming from Spain. You're our global chef for global networking, and because of you, we have all these chances since 6 months to highlight the topics and to bring us together on this page, and that is really amazing. And you are the founder. You are founder of Political Analyst, and you are Sustainability Reader.com. You're a president of the VICCI, Women Indian Chamber Commerce of India as well. So really, and you give us the insight today of political analysis around this topic of smart cities, what really will sum up a lot of things what we heard today here. So the floor is yours, Ma.
Thanks so much, Anja, and thank you all of you. All you have done in different aspects, from business, from change, for innovation. From Franca, you have done a great insight as always. Karen with education, it's a master on that. Anja, that you're here. Thank you for this opportunity to be here. And Emanuela, I will start with something that Emanuela said. I have only a few minutes because we are running out of time.
Take your time, please. It's always the same. You're coming at last, and then you don't have the time. So that's really not okay.
No, sorry. I will. You are the moderator. I know. I will just take a couple of minutes, so I will do it very, very fast. No, and Emanuela starts saying, "This is art," and when you start with art, that's good, no? To start with that. So I do the same. We were not connected, and we are coordinating with art, no? Because this is for me taking the lead from within, no? We need to build creativity, and that is very much aligned with what Karen would say on education, or what means to education. When we talk about the smart cities, sustainable cities in general, we say zero waste, zero carbon, car-free. That's what we make our summary, and we are happy about that. But we have to be focused on the citizen, not just because of the habits. I'm not referring to that. I'm not trying to talk about a change of culture or habits to get into more technology, or how they get into more technology. I'm talking about what means change of mindset on institutions. Citizens have to change institutions. If we continue introducing technology on traditional institutions, we are not moving forward. So to make that step and change our mindset, we need to make a cocktail of what are the SDGs. SDGs 11 on sustainability need to be aligned with cities' education to educating not just the citizens, educating towards changing leadership. Citizens have to be educated to feel empowered to change. And that is a matter of education. You feel empowered, be creative enough to demand a new system that is not imposed like top-down initiatives, technology that is adapted to you and you are happy with it. And that means to be adaptable and flexible. And that the only way is to get into strategic partnerships. And we see that is beyond public and private, because that's what we have right now. Partnership, private and public. That's what we're talking. That's the debate right now. But we need to go beyond. We need to have the leaders as well as citizens. Citizens have to have a role on influence, have to become really influenced, and they're not right now. There are social media where they try to be influenced, but on the decision-making process, we see that SDGs are leading by governments, and if it is government, what we mean, political leadership. And that's why on smart cities, a political analyst like myself is here, because if not, it doesn't make sense. And if we change the leadership, we are going to get into a strong institution. We need to change the type of leadership that we get used in the last decades. We need to see it through new lenses. And we have an inconvenient mix. I like to talk about that inconvenient mix. No, we have no responsive institution, global and national. We see that they are not responsive. Inactive citizens. These citizens are always waiting from the institutions to deliver, and they have this attitude of activism. We want a sustainable city. So, but what we are doing? What is the capacity of the citizen to enter on the decision-making process? Well, it's very limited because it's politicized. There is a political interest. Besides, there is biased private interest in what is translated in practical aspects, that they are investing in certain parts of the cities and not others. In fact, on the rankings on green cities, you will see that there are cities that are considered green because of the trees, for example, in Madrid, but on other aspects, they are polluted. And they are not addressing because there are investment on other aspects. So to keep that balance, we need to see the needs of their own citizens. So nations, SDGs have to become a citizens agreement and not government and not a government agreement. So for me, I see it as a green puzzle, green pieces. We have architecture, infrastructure, clean energy, daily habits, public policy investment, but we need to make a new mix and make it sustainable. And for that, we need to recycle our mindset and enter into a new road where government, private sector, and citizens are all on the equal on terms of leadership. And for that, we need to change traditions, not on habits. So what means green? Because if not, we are going to just have green initiatives to enter on what means a green system, to reform and get into a green system. Very briefly, I see it, what means governments and citizens in relation to sustainable cities. I'm seeing it an isolated compartment, and we need to integrate that. We are getting used to macro projects by governments, and we are waiting for that, but not to micro projects by citizens. We get used to the governments lead the change of the habits. In this moment, these are the actors, these are the leaders, are the governments, and the citizens are just following by goodwill, or even if there are sanctions. SDGs, top-down initiatives, that's what we have seen. We need also to fix it with bottom-up initiatives. The axis is politics right now and have to be real needs from the people. And partners, as I said before, just let's go beyond public and private. Citizens right now don't have any partnership with the government, only isolated initiatives. To end, we need to build a green architectural system. And for that, we need to change the mindset from the citizen, a multidimensional political process. When you approach leaders and on a balanced way, government and citizens. Innovation is key, but innovation on how we address the partnership, not just on what means architecture or what means the green initiatives by their own. Inclusive top-down and bottom-up initiatives. The meaning of inclusiveness that Emanuela have raised is so important. And for that, education for the present and future generations, that was the goal for Karen. And citizen, as I said before, becoming real influencer. This one, I have more, but I will leave it this way. This kind of spaces that we are creating is specifically for that, to empower citizens to talk, to influence from a new angle, to see if we can get into smart by being smart, because this is the use of digital resources. So it's the way to get smart. I leave it there. I hope I haven't taken much time. Sorry.
No, it's thank you very much, Ma. It's really a pity you rushing through that, and I think we should have taken the time for that and not giving you that little space, because what you're pointing out there are especially new ideas as well, and they implicate a mind shift. Even if we're listening to that, we are following you and have to change the mindset as well. The bottom up and the bottom up, what you said, and as well when you talk about leadership and the possibility of people to take their responsibility in their hands. I think that they driving the change, and that they're not thinking it's governmental given, because we've seen the restrictions and the sanctions, and we don't come up really in our full potential, what we should do, as far as I understand this. And smart cities and as well a circular economy can help us to come back to the origin, because as circularity is a circle, and the circle is life. And if we understand life in the right way, we know why we have to follow it and why evolution is like this. And we've seen what we created around and what we need and what we don't need, and where future can lead us if we understand our role on the planet in the way how it was meant. And especially what we did and what we are going to do with resources regarding of the future of our kids and the people around us. It's really to be aware that we are guests on the planet, and should use what is given, and that is really the most important thing for us. And then we find new strategies, because we have to clean up the mess we left. And with new strategies, we will be able, and circular economy can be one way if we have the skills and the understanding that resources will stay in the loop. And and we will see how important will technology be, and where our way will lead us. But definitely we have to speed up a little bit. So my dear guests, I hope come back all together. Come back. It were great insights, and I hope we meet soon in December. And Ma and me, we had a little idea where we can start and how we can start our next session, and we thought that maybe partnerships, global partnerships, local partnerships, that the topic on partnerships could be a perfect topic for us regarding sustainability, global development in the different sectors. And we all invite you to follow us again on this next topic in January. We cannot see the audience, but thank you for being with us. We hope we could contribute something to your afternoon, evening, or morning, whenever you will see us. And hopefully we all join back healthy and happy in the new year. I wish all of you a nice Christmas time. Bless you, and a happy and healthy new year.
Happy Christmas to all of you. Have a nice holiday time. Thank you for inviting me. Stay blessed and healthy. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oops. You did it so well, Emmanuel.
Bye.
Bye.